Hello and welcome back to episode 10 of the Alpine F1 Manager Career Mode. We're back today after what was a fantastic Canadian Grand Prix that could have been even better if it wasn't for one Kevin Magnussen. Quite frankly, do not like the guy anymore. We're back today for Silverstone, the British Grand Prix. And then in just 1 week, we've got the Austrian Grand Prix. We come into this race, we do not have much in the way of upgrades. We have one change. We have new side pods going onto Alonso's car. The second set of those will be available for Ocon as of the Austrian Grand Prix, but unfortunately didn't arrive in time for Britain for him. Other news, we have entered the new time frame for development time, and we have gone absolutely ham on it. We are working on a new underfloor and a new front wing. If these come through, we would have one of the, I think, third or fourth fastest car in corners of high speed, low and medium speed corners. They will hopefully be in place for the Belgian Grand Prix, so after the summer break. But nevertheless, it's coming to the car as soon as we can possibly get it. We have also had notification Piastri and Alonso both have 6 months left on their contracts. We are going to go with the real life scenario where neither of them will be staying with us, which means we are on the lookout for replacements, of course. I've got my eye on a couple drivers, but leave your comment down below. Who would you like to see me go for? We've also got, obviously, the realistic possibility of Ricciardo and Gasly. Would you like me to go for one of them? Or would you like to see me go for someone completely different? Let me know down below. We are probably going to be keeping Ocon on because he's been absolutely solid this year. Can't fault the guy, to be fair. We've arguably favoured Alonso on a couple of occasions this season. Ocon is battling the entire way, so he is definitely going to be staying on board with Alpine.
We're here in legendary Silverstone, where the very first Formula One World Championship Grand Prix was held back in 1950. It's a place where every tuft of grass breathes motorsport, and the crowd are already crackling with excitement. Silverstone demands a lot of power from cars, with numerous twists and historic turns. Downforce is going to be a key factor to manage if teams want to succeed here. We're about halfway through the season now, and there's still plenty of time for everything to change. All eyes are on the teams and how they tackle the rest of the year. What will happen this weekend? Only time will tell.
So we're expecting a bit of rain on the Friday, but it should be a dry qualifying and race day. We're expecting the strategy to be probably a 2-stop, actually, looking at that. I think that's probably what we'll go for. I think the 1-stop doesn't benefit us enough, if I'm being completely honest. So we'll see how we look once we get to that stage, though. I'm going to go and do practice as usual, and we'll see you ahead of qualifying. We're back after practice, and it was not fantastic for us. So we have 14th and 16th in P1, we have 14th and 17th in P2, and in P3 it was 7th and 14th, so a good final session for Ocon there. However, as normal, we're not pushing the cars too much in practice. We are going to make sure that where possible they've got the best engines they possibly can. I think for now, for Alonso, we're going to keep this 62% engine. We're going to try and save the other engine, possibly bring it in at Belgium or Monza for the first time. Ocon, however, is going to have his newer engine because his engine just seems a lot more worn than what Alonso's does. And setup-wise, we've got Ocon at 97% confidence. Alonso was at 90%. However, I'm hoping with a couple of small changes, we might be able to get him a little bit better as well as we head into qualifying as usual, I'll see you towards the end of Q1 or Q2 if we're looking very comfortable in Q1. So we are coming towards the end of Q1. We're leaving Ocon in the garage. He's 4th. I can't see him dropping down so far that it's going to be a danger for him. Meanwhile, however, Alonso is in 14th. He got caught in a lot of traffic on his flying lap.
Get some comments when you're plugged back in.
Magnussen locked up, but he's behind us, that's fine. And we are hopeful that Alonso will be absolutely fine. He's going green in Sector 1, green in Sector 2. And it looks fairly likely he's going to be absolutely fine. Because behind, you've got Hamilton, who's probably going to improve. Stroll improves and puts himself into 15th. So it would take a lot for Stroll to survive, and he doesn't as Hamilton crosses the line. Alonso crosses the line and moves up to 7th. So we are safely through from Q1 after just a little bit of a scare in that session. And the remaining cars crossing the line. Mick gets out of Q1, does he? Magnussen swaps with him. So Ocon Alonso safely through to Q2. So we may have mistimed things for Alonso here. We sent him back out to try and improve his time. He did improve his time. However, he's found himself in 6th and everybody else was already leaving to go and start their final flying lap. So we are just hoping that Alonso's done enough. Ricciardo and Russell also don't come back out. It is a surprise that Russell hasn't moved. So Russell and Ricciardo are out in Q2. Ocon is currently out in Q2 at the moment. Alonso is confirmed safe now, I think. Yes, he is, just about. Ocon is going to cross the line and puts himself 7th. We are through to Q3 with both cars. And a big moment in our attempt to chase down Mercedes, which is going to be a very tough chase. But with Russell out in Q2, there is a chance for us. I don't know why he did that. We're not expecting like a grid penalty for him as far as I'm aware. So I don't know why he's done that. Very unusual. But on the flip side, we're through to Q3. So why do we care? Let's go and see if we can stick it. Let's go for 5th and 6th. Why not? So we have our cars back in the garage. Oh, Sainz took a spin. Alonso's had the worst luck in qualifying. Oh dear. What's he done that for? Every time Alonso's gone out, he's ended up hitting traffic. He's just had absolutely no luck to just getting a free run at it. However, at the moment, Ocon is up in 3rd. So it was a fantastic lap for Ocon. He's now going to give a bit of a tow to Alonso on the final flying laps of Q3. We're going to get them to fly around here, get them on those laps, and see what we can pull off. So Ocon in 3rd has gone green. Alonso also has gone green in Sector 1. So it's a good start. You can see it, the little bit of a tow. Alonso's get. I say that it's a pretty big gap. He might not be getting much of a tow. The Ferraris are about to cross the line. I think it's Sainz who's going to be the first over. He is going to be in up into 3rd. We've then got Gasly improves into 4th. We've got the 2 Alfa Romeos. So Bottas first goes up to 6th. Zhou is the next man over the line. Stays 7th. Only a slight improvement there. Hamilton crosses the line up into 5th. Then we've got Charles Leclerc, currently 10th, moves himself up into 2nd. Next we have Ocon, crosses the line, doesn't improve. Alonso crosses the line, only up to 8th. And then Perez, the last man to cross the line, doesn't go above Leclerc. So we start 7th and 8th. I thought we would have been in a much better position. At very least, I thought we should be beating an AlphaTauri. However, they do have a grid penalty, as does Charles Leclerc. So we might be 5th and 6th. Let's go and find out.
Race day has arrived and the time has come for these drivers to fight it out wheel to wheel.
Alpine demonstrated a lot of grit during qualifying here and will be hoping that the hard work pays off when it comes to the race. We saw a reasonable push from Mercedes in qualifying, and they'll have plenty of opportunities here to achieve a great result. And the race will be taking place under blue skies. That means the teams should be able to apply their strategies without any added complications.
Well, we're 52 laps away then from crowning the winner of the British Grand Prix. But one thing is for certain, it's going to be sensational.
So we are starting 5th and 6th. So that must be, if we have a look at the results from qualifying, Leclerc and Gasly moving down below our guys. So we're going to be right in the back of Lewis Hamilton and Carlos Sainz, who are going to be making up the second row. Bottas and Zhou behind us. I think we've got the pace to get away from them. We can definitely get ourselves in a battle for 4th and 5th at the very least, I think. Now we need to have a look at what we're going to do strategy-wise. I like the idea of putting one guy on an aggressive 2-stop and one guy on a 1-stop. It's just a matter of how we go about it. I think we're going to put Alonso on the 1-stop and Ocon, who we know can attack on his tyres. We're going to put him on the aggressive 2-stop, let him attack throughout the race, and hopefully we'll see it pay off come the end of the race. Ocon with these tyres isn't going to have any problem at all. We might even be able to turn that into a soft at the end. If we were to stretch out this stint here, no, it doesn't actually benefit us. Never mind, it was worth a look. We're going to go for it with Ocon. Medium to hard to soft tyres. Hopefully, we can pull that off. Let's head into the race and see what we can do.
It's bright and sunny as the drivers line up on the grid. And there we've got Esteban Ocon. A top 10 position today, but will they be able to capitalise on it? And here's Alonso, the team's second driver. They might not be in the top 3 spots, but things could change fast once the race gets underway. The race start is mere seconds away. Anticipation is high, and the drivers are ready for this. The British Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Here we are then. We're going to focus on Perez and Verstappen from the start. Are we going to see a challenge? No, Perez sits in behind Verstappen straight away. We're going to jump on board with our driver in Esteban Ocon. He's getting himself in between the Ferrari and the Mercedes. This must be... Oh, he's forced Hamilton wide and he's through into 3rd place. Alonso now going to battle with Hamilton. Can he get himself up into 5th place? And this... I mean, I know we watched it live, but it'd be rude not to watch a replay of this. Look at that. Gets up the inside of Hamilton. Pushes him a little bit onto the outside, but also they were free ride. There wasn't much he could do. Fantastic from Ocon. And Alonso is battling towards Cops. We know what's happened here before, but Hamilton's dropped off. So we are now sat 3rd and 5th. Ocon is right on the back of Sergio Perez. We're going to change this to neutral now going forward. Let him just drop this to balance. Let's allow Ocon to attack. Alonso can go aggressive, I think. I don't think we need more than that. But Ocon, if he can latch onto the back of the Red Bulls, it could be a big race for Esteban Ocon. And let's not forget as well, we are going with the real life scenario for... What have we got here? Oh no. Alonso spun. And look how many cars are getting past him. Oh, pain. pain for Alonso. That changes the dynamics of this race because all of a sudden we haven't got the option. Well, I mean, the split strategy is kind of dead and buried at that point because you can't really. You can pull off a split strategy all you want, but if one of your drivers is at the back of the grid, you're not going to be able to do it to try and ruin Hamilton's race. That is very, very unfortunate, and Alonso's going to have to try and battle his way through the field. It looks like he's going to get off to a good start. Any moment now, he should be He spun again. He spun again. He's got a penalty. Alonso's had an absolute stinker. So he goes for an overtake here on Latifi. Spins, hits Latifi. And picks up a penalty for doing so. Here I was going to defend Alonso. Yeah, I was going to say it's sad for him to have to leave at the end of the season, but we're going with the realistic approach. All of a sudden, we're just thinking, can we terminate you early? So we're going to let the race advance a little bit. You can see here at the moment, if you watch Ocon, he's kind of not quite got the pace to get at Perez, but he's been pulled away from Carlos Sainz. So it's still massive momentum that he's gaining in this race. Would have been great to use Alonso to help Ocon in his battle for a potential podium. Now, we're going to be lucky if Alonso gets any points. There was yellow flags again there. It was Verstappen. What's gone on here? He's gone well wide, and Perez and Alonso have made their way past him. So Ocon is in position. Potentially, if he's got DRS here, he might have a little look at Sergio Perez. He is having a look at Sergio Perez, and he's passed him into the lead of the race. Esteban Ocon leads the British Grand Prix. Ocon and Perez now are just kind of swapping places. It's only been a lap or so, but you can see already that they're going to swap places almost every straight. Alonso's up into 16th. Although, obviously, he's also got this penalty to deal with. So at some point, we're going to have to get him to take that. I'm guessing we'll probably take it during a pit stop for him. My goodness, has he messed up our plans. We definitely need to be keeping an eye on when the other cars around us, like Perez, Verstappen, Sainz, start to do their pit stops. If it looks like they're going for a 2-stop, then we'll probably stick with our 2-stop. If it looks like they're going to go for a 1-stop, we may have to try and match them. Because on pure pace, I don't think we've... Well, let's be honest. On pure pace, we don't have it. But in terms of strategy, if we can get it right, we may be able to battle with them for the race win, even perhaps. But it's going to very much be avoid getting undercut. Whenever they pit, I feel we've got to match them a lap later. They're both... They've gone. Oh, they've ruined Perez. They have ruined Perez. That's not like Mercedes. That's not like Red Bull, is it? To favour Verstappen. What have they done, though? They have pitted for hards and hards. When's Alonso's pit win? So Alonso's meant to pit for... They've got to be doing a 2-stop. They've got to be. We'll leave it another couple laps. But we're going to have to respond to that. Verstappen's in clear. He's battling with Zhou, actually. Sainz is now pitting. And... Oh, it's getting very nervous here. I feel... So we could pit this lap for hards and switch the strategy. Or we take a risk and switch to the 1-stop for Ocon. I'm very tempted because they're going to have to pit again, pitting this early. Surely they can't make the hards last until the end of the race. I think we'll... Oh, I'm all over the place. We'll stick with C for the moment, and we'll see when Ferrari pit. I think they've just pit signs. So it just comes down to when do they pit. Leclerc is in now. Leclerc is in now. As is Zhou, which releases the cars behind them. Where's Russell? Russell's down in 14th. He's pitted as well. And Hamilton stays out. We've got to get this decision right. That's the problem we've got at the moment. What's the gap to leader? 20 seconds. And it's kind of staying around that spot. This next lap is going to... We're going to pit him on the optimal lap. We're going to stick with the plan.
Box this lap, please. Box this lap.
I think at most we come out just behind... Yellow flags in sector 1. What's going on? Nothing important. Okay. Hamilton spun. Hamilton spun. How major was it? That's a pretty big spin. He's able to get going straight away. But nevertheless, a big moment. Ocon's already left the pit lane before I can react. Okay. We'll jump back on board with... Ocon's come out ahead of Verstappen. Ocon is ahead of Verstappen after the pit stops. Which means we're in a position now, if he can latch onto the back... Yeah, go ahead and pit, Alonso. Honestly, I don't care about your race anymore.
We are boxing.
Can we... so Alonso is going to pit and serve his penalty. But Ocon, right now, is going to be using DRS to stick with Verstappen. And there's a chance that we could be on for, at the very least, a podium. At the very least. Potentially a race win if we can get that second pit stop right. We're going to be going a little bit longer than the other guys because we're heading for the softs, whereas everybody else, I'm 90% sure they're going to be going for the mediums because of when they pit. If we can get the softs on, we could pull off something absolutely magical here at the British Grand Prix. Alonso's just overtook Magnussen, so he's down in 13th. There's a small chance for him to get points in this race. However, it's going to be like not many points. Let's be honest, it's just not. Meanwhile, Ocon is well and truly in a battle for the race win. And he's just gone and set the fastest lap as well. We could pull something magical off here at Silverstone. As you can tell, I'm rambling. I'm getting very nervous about this fact. But, oh my goodness. Could it be good? Ocon is battling his way through lapped cars at the moment. He's managed to stick with Verstappen through it. That's a big moment in of itself. Because, you know, if he can stick with them through the lap cars, they've held Sainz and Perez up. Perez has actually dropped behind the Ferraris now. 6-second gap behind us. How's Alonso doing? He's 13th. He's closing in on Norris. I don't know what... Let's have a quick look elsewhere. I know I'm really struggling to care about Alonso's race, but nevertheless, we should have a little look. It appears, I think, there's a few cars ahead of Alonso that might be going for the 2-stop, which could give him a chance. It's not going to be guaranteeing anything, but it could give him a chance of getting some points. Verstappen has pitted. Where's he coming out? Behind Hamilton. That in itself is huge. The Ferraris are now pitting. We're just watching that gap to Verstappen more than anything at the moment. we could really do with Hamilton holding up Verstappen. You know he's got to be thinking about it. Oh, he hasn't done it though. He's already passed him. Well, we now are kind of more looking towards that gap to Leclerc and Perez, because that's where we're going to be expecting to come out. We will be behind Verstappen, but we just need to manage it so that we're not... We've actually gone past... I haven't even noticed. We've gone past our expected pit window. But on the flip side... Right, let's just have a quick look. So if we were to pit for the softs, they can last 26 laps. We've got 11 laps to go. I think we've got to go for it now. Is that our best set? It is. We're going to pit Ocon on the next lap. And then we are going to let him go all out on the attack. Alonso's up into 7th. We've got Ocon in the pits. We need a good pit stop from the team. Where's Alonso? He's kind of nowhere near anyone at the moment. On go the soft tyres. And here comes Esteban Ocon. You can hear Verstappen and Hamilton going past. And it's a 5-second gap. Let's see what Esteban Ocon can do with 11 laps to go. Can he close the gap? He looks relatively good for a podium, if we're being completely honest. Let's change this to the interval again, because we want to see the gap. It's coming down. The gap is dropping. Esteban Ocon has set the fastest lap. Esteban Ocon, 3 seconds gap to Hamilton in 2nd place. And it is dropping lap by lap. Roughly 3/10 a lap it's dropping by. It's dropping even more than that at the moment. Esteban Ocon is closing in on Lewis Hamilton. Can he get an overtake? Oh my goodness, is he getting close? We're going to have to jump on board with him in a minute. You can see Hamilton just up the road from Ocon. The gap is less than a second. He's going to have DRS down the Kemmel Straight. That's assuming I've got this right, because I always forget the name of each straight. He doesn't get him on this occasion. But now we're going to go round the hairpin. Up towards Cops. Is he going to have him into Cops? Oh, he had a little think about it. He doesn't go for it yet. Through the S's. And now, Unleashed. Get past him. Why haven't you got past him? He has got past him. Esteban Ocon into 2nd place in the British Grand Prix. The gap to Verstappen is 6 seconds. I think that might be out of his reach. But you never know. Any mistake from Verstappen, and Ocon is going to be there to capitalise on it. Alonso, to be fair to him, has had a good recovery drive. He's got himself up to 7th and he's pretty much locked in to that position now. We aren't going to be able to get Verstappen. We can tell that now. The gap just isn't dropping anywhere near quick enough. We're actually going to find ourselves defending from Hamilton. Could this be the first podium of the season for Alpine? We're going to deploy an attack on both drivers. Let's see if we can get that fastest lap back from Sergio Perez, as unlikely as it may be. Let's keep an eye behind us. Hamilton's nowhere near us. Hamilton is nowhere near Ocon. All he's got to do is guide it round this track for one final time. He's halfway round it. And if he can pull this off, it's going to be an Alpine on the podium for the first time this season. Here comes Verstappen to cross the line in 1st place. We gave him a good battle, but over the line he goes. Ocon not too far behind him. Crosses the line for second place. And a fantastic finish
Good flag.
for Alpine.
Guys. All right. Good job. Fantastic. See that.
There goes Sainz across the line. And
It's disabled.
Alonso's going to be the next driver to cross the line. Can he go ahead and nick the fastest lap at the end? We've had him deploy an ERS. And there's not really a way for us to know.
Okay, let's move from here.
I would be surprised if he's got it.
Well managed.
Well managed. He's banned twice. What do you mean, well managed? Honestly. He recovered well. Yes. He did not manage it well. There it is. Your podium boy.
This is a performance to remember from Esteban Ocon. Extraordinary.
I couldn't have said it better myself. That is simply a phenomenal drive. Don't hold the one up. You
This
didn't
podium
get
is
one.
a brilliant reward for everyone's hard work over the weekend.
It's very nice to see a podium celebration on this game for the first time. Obviously, we don't get them unless we finish on the podium, which is odd. But there he is, lifting up his own trophy.
And there's no denying
Leclerc
that
doesn't
the
get one.
Frenchman deserves this result. He was absolutely brilliant.
Esteban Ocon with a phenomenal race. He didn't need the chaos that he did in Hungary last year.
But remember, it's not just about today's trophies, it's the points that can make all the difference.
And of course,
Great
that
racing from Alpine here today. Some high quality work all round.
You're completely right, and what a day for all the fans of the team as well.
And after this result, the team is fourth in the constructor standings.
Next time, the teams will be forging ahead at full throttle through the Styrian forest. The Austrian Grand Prix is right around the corner.
what a race for Alpine. You've got Esteban Ocon getting on the podium, finishing second place. Meanwhile, you've got the complete contrast of emotions from Alonso with his 2 spins and a penalty, recovering to finish 7th. He still finished ahead of George Russell, which means you look at the Drivers' Championship, Ocon's jumped above Alonso, which is huge in the grand scheme of things. Of course, he's the guy that we're going to be keeping next year. Alonso and Piastri, they're gone. Ocon coming into his own. And the Constructors' Championship, we gain 24 points. Mercedes only getting 14. The gap is down to 10 points. What could have been if we didn't have the absolute mare of running out of fuel with both cars in Azerbaijan? Well, safe to say, an amazing Grand Prix for Alpine here in Britain. And we are off to Austria next. It's only a week away in game. And then after that, it's our home Grand Prix at Paul Ricard. Let's keep the momentum going. And hopefully, we might even pick up a podium in our home Grand Prix. If you have enjoyed that, please do leave a like down below. Comment, do you think we can get another podium this season? Do you think we can get a race win this season? Let me know down below. Subscribe if you're enjoying the content, and thank you very much for watching.